friends, so my name is Preksha and in this video we are going through my journey of IELTS and how I scored 7.5 band in just 3 days of preparation. Firstly, I have vlogged my experience throughout my journey of 3 days from my speaking test which was on 13th of April and my listening, reading and writing which was on 15th of April. So let's just go and just watch what was my experience, and then in the last part I'll share some tips and tricks that might help you and some mistakes that I did which you can avoid. You guys, I am preparing for my IELTS and I have my speaking test on the 13th and my reading, listening and writing on the 15th, which is like tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and I have not prepared as much as I would like to, and we are just starting with it. For my strategy, I'm first gonna start and pick up from the listening. So what I did was I did like a listening and a reading example that I can judge that which band I am on, and so accordingly I thought let's just target listening as my strongest point and I'll work on it more today to get an idea what kind of score I can get and the maximum score that I can get. I really want to reach like at an 8.5 in listening. So what I'm doing in that currently is, wait, let me show you guys. I am doing like a British English course that is available on Udemy for 7+ to learn the tips and tricks. In this course I'll start preparing for my speaking from like 6, so till 6-7 I can probably work on my listening and just complete and try to score as much as I can. So we'll see you guys once I'm done with the listening. For a quick update guys, we are making a little progress. We have done the listening part of the Udemy course. I have done the IELTS list tips and tricks videos. So at 8 we are gonna sit and we are gonna start for rehearsing for my speaking test, which is tomorrow, which is gonna start at 1. We are gonna reach the center around 12:15. So approximately I have 6 to 7 hours to prepare for speaking, and let's see how it goes. My plan for speaking is just to watch some videos for like the idioms, for vocabularies, and just practice it with a friend or two, like how it can be done, and that's the thing I'm gonna do. Okay, bye. On my way for the speaking test is the 13th of April, and I am kind of excited to tell you guys how my exam went after it is done when I'm home. So I just gave my speaking test today and it was good. I mean, the process was smooth. I went to the hall and they checked my passport, they clicked my picture, and okay, one thing, just carry a rubber band or clutcher with you because you need to tie back your hair for the photograph and the speaking test. And then later my speaking test started before 1, so my timing was 1. It started before 1 because I reached there. It was around 15 to 16 minutes. She asked me a lot of questions. I would say in some questions I did fumbled, and in some questions I did use some of the phrases that I had prepared earlier. So overall it was good. 7 would be like a decent score that I would want to get in this. So yeah, let's see. So again guys, I am now done with my speaking. As I told you, I am going to start with my other 3, listening, reading and writing. Firstly, I'm gonna do is, today it's 13th, I am gonna focus on my listening and reading. For reading, I need to complete my Udemy tips and tricks and then practice. For listening, I just need to practice to get my aim back. So I'll just do that and we'll meet, or I'll talk to you tomorrow. In April, I'm going to give my IELTS writing, listening and reading exam, and I'll tell you how was the exam after I'm done with this. Wish me luck. So today is 19th of April and I have gotten a message that I have received my result. So we are gonna check it. So my exam was on last Saturday, which is 15th of April, and in 4 days my result has come because it was a computer based test. Yes guys, I hope you guys loved my videos, like the short clips I made and went throughout with my journey for IELTS. And yes, I scored, yay! I scored a 7.5, which was higher than my desired band. So now I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks. I have noted them specifically so I don't miss out on anything that I did, and some things that might help you guys. Starting with the speaking, so I scored a 7.5 in speaking. What I did was I watched 9 or like 8 or 9 band videos on YouTube, and how the person has really analyzed that why this person has scored a certain band. So like I would see that video, I would analyze, and I would write the phrases which they were using so that I can also use it and I can also increase my score. So basically there are 4 criteria on which you are judged and based on which you get your band in the speaking exam. I will list that criteria list, which is also available on the IELTS website. So I just noted the phrases and what I can use. Also, second point I would say is do not repeat your words. Try to use paraphrases, like just like if you say I am happy, or I smiled that day, or I was feeling on top of the world, the feeling was an ecstasy. So just use different kinds of words. Your time before answering, just don't rush into any answers. When the examiner asks you, just take like a few seconds. Okay, I would like to answer it like that, that's a really good question. Like use some connectors and then start your sentence. It looks a little natural also. Then I would say the third point is use stories, use examples. Got like a question, what's the recent gift that you've gotten? So I started, because in the earlier half I told I was not into materialistic things and anything like that sort, or like gifts doesn't really make me excites me or like that. So then in that part I just started like that even though they don't, but when I became like I achieved a certain goal, my father gifted me this and it was really nice, it felt like validation, or it really boosted my confidence. So you can add on like a personal story or like a personal example as well. Like it helps you like give long answers. So you should avoid giving like a 1-line 2-line answers. Like the fourth point is, that's like a really important point, and it's gonna be a fun point as well, and I could not find this point anywhere in any other video. I would say that just try to speak to 2-3 of your friends, just tell them what the format of the test is and let them take like 2-3 mocks of yours and just go through with it. Just don't think too much and just converse with them in English like you generally would, and just try to use some of the vocabulary you have learned watching the earlier YouTube videos, and you will be really fine, I think. So the next was listening, and listening I knew had to be my highest scoring section. I scored an 8.5 and I think I truly deserved it. So in listening, it's like you have to do 3 things at once. You have to listen, you have to read the question, and you have to answer the question. So what I did, my strategy was I did like small courses. Either you can do on YouTube or Udemy or any other platform. You find free resources, you can use that, and then practice. So I got an IELTS book when I registered for the exam. I practiced all of the listening from that book, and I also practiced, there was a website, I link that website down below it. So I gave a computer based IELTS, so I had to use that interface, that how I would be seeing the listening exam, because it would not be paper based. So I used this website, and it had free exams, like free listening, reading, writing, like in the same interface as you would be getting in the computer based IELTS. So it really helped me. I practiced like a lot of mocks there, like 12-15 mocks I practiced overall. So that really helped me. And 3 points that were my weak points that I improved upon to get my desired score. First was singular and plural. You need to identify where you have to use like a singular noun or a plural noun. It really cuts your marks if you get like the wrong noun. Then second, capital letters. So when you are writing, you need to be sure it's just a capital, like you need to be sure of the word spelling as well as the letters, like it should be a capital letter or should not be a capital letter. It is also, the marks also get deducted if you do not use like a capital letter and it was like a name or it was a noun. Then third was correct prepositions. Last thing I did was, yes, so what I did was I use, like you get like a time where you have to listen to the section and then you have to answer, and then you get a time to revise or like revisit your answers. I did not revisited the answers at that time because I knew jo sun liya hai that is final, and I used that time to read my another paragraph or another part, because there are 3 parts. So I use that to read another part. So that time I used to read another part, which helped me in the further answers. Because if you have read it once, you would be able to answer, otherwise you would not be able to answer and you would like lose all of your marks going forward. So that was one trick that I really liked. So in writing and reading both I scored a 7. In reading, I did like a little small course and tips and tricks videos from YouTube. You can use, like there are many channels. I did a course from Udemy, I used videos from Liz, I used a few random videos also which I found useful. Then also what I did was I read the questions first and the passage first and then the questions again, and then I tried to find the answers. I did not just jumped into the passage. And also when I was reading the question, I highlighted and I just went to the passage and highlighted what was similar to that. I did not correctly found the answer, but I could relate. That helps. Also, one thing is, take your time with the first passage, because as your like if you take good amount of time in first passage, maybe like the full 20 minutes, you would be able to get all the answers, and it will also increase your confidence. And as you go on to the third passage, which can be little, which increases on difficulty level, you will have the confidence. Then the third point is practice mocks. So I did really practice mocks from the booklet also that I came from my IELTS, and also the same website for the computer based IELTS I used to practice my computer based interface reading exam. It really helped me. And yeah, that's it for that. And in writing I did not practice much, but I read like a few essays from the Liz IELTS website, and also one more website, I'll link that down below, I don't remember the name. It had like essays on various things like culture, education, and many more topics which are relevant for the IELTS. So I read my topics from that. I used some of the phrases in my exam. I would just say like you have to use like a structure. So the most important thing is, in task 1 you need to have an overview. So the introduction, the overview, the body para 1, the body para 2, and in the second part you need to have like an introduction, para 1, para 2, and conclusion, whatever your answer is. But you need to be like in a format, just structure your answer. It really increases your band. And just keep like completed on time, because in computer based IELTS, as soon as your 60 minutes like are over, it just stops. You can't make any changes. This happened with me in task 1. I was not able to complete like the last line. This was all the tips and tricks I use. And I would just say one thing, just be confident, because most of us know English. We have been speaking in English, we have been writing in English, we have been doing comprehensive passages, and the listening part is also really easy once you get used to it. So I would just say practice listening and reading. And for writing and speaking, you just need to listen some of the examples and just go through it, and you will be all good. So just be confident while you give the exam. Confidence is really important. It will really help you write better and like listen better and read better also during that. It really helps you score like a good band. So I hope this video helped you guys, and if there are any questions that you still have, you just can drop a comment down below, like the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.